Hello and welcome to The United Stand. This is your Manchester United transfer news where we talk about all the latest Manchester United transfer news and give it that real fan opinion. And I tell you a funny story, so I will. I always sometimes worry about not having enough things to talk about, and I thought today would be one of those. But there's bloody loads to talk about, absolutely loads. So Jose Mourinho's £200 million transfer risk, what's that all about? Well, let me quote the person, Kieran Maguire, who's a financial expert at Daily Star, saying that he predicts that Manchester United have got £200 million to spend. We've also got to talk about Alexandro, Toby Alderweireld, Danny Rose, Jordan Pickford, and a lot of other things. But I tell you what, Kieran Maguire might be right. Manchester United may well have £200 million to spend because we spent around £150 million last year. And as many of us have said before, Jose Mourinho signed a new contract in January. Do you think Jose Mourinho, having not got Perisic the previous summer, would have said, yes, Ed, I'll sign up here without saying, I'm only signing here if you give me what I need this summer? So I do believe that United and Mourinho will be spending around 200 million. I think anything more than that would be lucky. But the interesting element to this and where the risk comes in is that there are numerous sources from yesterday saying that, in relation to Danny Rose, United apparently not after Danny Rose now because they feel that we have enough cover there. And that is the risk, I suppose, that seems to be coming out quite a lot, this risk that the numerous sources saying that United are happy, or Mourinho is happy with what he's got in relation to his fullback options. What fullback options are these then? Because as far as I'm concerned, Valencia was awful from Christmas. He really was. Young is not a left back. Luke Shaw, he doesn't want to play him, and some people don't think Luke Shaw's that good. I do. And Dalot is a kid, and he is probably not ready. And are we going to be using him as a left back? Because I'm massively worried about the left back situation. I really am. I've mentioned it so much, but I'm not going to get too frustrated about it because it's like, well, you know, is it real? But our fullbacks are a massive problem, and I don't know whether people really appreciate how important fullbacks are. I mean, look at Manchester City with Kyle Walker and Mendy. Look at Spurs especially. They're the best advocate of having good fullbacks. And even Liverpool have sorted their fullback situation out. Fullbacks are very important. They provide the width. Most wingers now don't provide you width because they're inverted wingers. You'll have a left footer on the right side and a right footer on the left side, and they'll cut in. Your natural width comes from your fullbacks. They're the ones who bomb on and provide the width that pull teams out. United haven't got natural width because Valencia doesn't scare anybody with his pea shooter crosses across the ground, and Ashley Young doesn't. He's an inverted fullback, which I've never heard. I mean, football's always modernising itself, but an inverted left back or fullback who basically is the wrong foot is ridiculous. So we do need to bring a fullback in. Interestingly, Duncan Castles. Now, people jumped on this negatively. They were like, oh, Mourinho, Woodward again. Duncan Castles has basically said that Alexandro, Manchester United are refusing to pay 60 million euros for Alexandro. And people were jumping down like, wow, Man City paid 50 million for Mendy last season and Alexandro is better than him. Yes, well done. You're right. But I take encouragement from that because Duncan Castles has been right on a couple of things. He's been wrong in the past, but he has been right on a couple of things. He was right about Dalot. And he just that glimmer of hope with Alexandro really does help for me because I think it's such an important position. It's almost becoming the most important position to sort out for United this summer. We cannot go into next season with Ashley Young. Ashley Young at left back is the same as Fellaini for me. If Fellaini stays, we're not winning the title. And if Ashley Young's our left back next season, we're not winning the title. And I'd love to be proved wrong on those two things, but my expectations are we're not winning the title if those two things aren't addressed. And so I'm encouraged that we're in for Alexandro. And I'm not going to be negative, and maybe we'll have your comments below and you can see what you think about it. But I'm not negative about it because Manchester United are probably right, and Duncan Castle said it in the article himself. Why should United pay 60 million euros for a player that is informally on the transfer market? Juventus are looking to move him on because he wants to leave. And why should we pay 60 million? I think 40 million pounds which is about 47 million or 45 million euro. So I actually agree with United not paying 60 million. And unless somebody's willing to pay that, we shouldn't pay it. I think it's very important for us to get. And so I agree with United there. And hopefully it's part of the bartering process. If we're walking away from the deal, that would concern me. And let's not forget, Spurs sold Kyle Walker for about £50 million last summer, which again is around 57 million euro, I think. So Danny Rose would probably cost the same. So I think we've got to get Alexandro, and if it's part of the bartering process, all good. I'd be annoyed if we walked away from it, but at the moment, I don't think we need to be moody about the fact that we maybe don't want to pay 60 million euro. Let's have a bit of negotiation. He's not in the World Cup, and let's get that deal done. I'd love to see it happen. Danny Rose, don't want him. Never wanted him. I think Luke Shaw's better than him, and he's old. He's not old, but he's in his late 20s, isn't he? 27 or something like that. But the money you'd have to pay again to Spurs would be ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Before I talk about Alderweireld, I just want to bring in something here that's quite interesting. Jordan Pickford, the Everton goalkeeper, may well be England's first choice goalkeeper in the World Cup. Over the weekend, it was in the Liverpool Echo. They were talking about how betting patterns had come right in relation to Jordan Pickford coming to Manchester United. I think it was from 8-1 down to evens over the weekend, and that's why they were reporting. It was like, what's all this about? United in for Jordan Pickford when they've got De Gea. Obviously, yesterday we've seen that the Real Madrid manager is going to be the Spanish coach, and a few people, as we spoke about on the video last night, thinking that maybe that's a chance for De Gea to go to Real Madrid. But I mean, Jordan Pickford at Manchester United, I mean, he might be a good goalkeeper, but he's not David De Gea, is he? I mean, I heard somebody saying last night that if we could get 180 million for De Gea and we can get Oblak for 80 million, let's do the deal. I can't. No, let's not do the deal. Let's never do the deal. Manchester United should never openly do a deal unless De Gea wants to go. That's not a good deal. I mean, De Gea and Oblak is like prime steak and a wimpy burger, you know. And Oblak's a good goalkeeper, but De Gea's just on a different level, so I don't want to entertain anything like that. Jordan Pickford, again, don't want to entertain it. I don't want De Gea to go, but it was just interesting that was... I saw that in the Liverpool Echo, and they were talking about Pickford, and then the De Gea thing happens. I don't think there's anything in it, but there we go. And interestingly about Toby Alderweireld, it was in the Telegraph yesterday that Toby Alderweireld is now open to potentially staying at Spurs now. Now, I know a lot of United fans are quite hurt about that. The Alderweireld thing, I think a lot of people see quite wrongly. I think a few outlets were saying that Toby Alderweireld is definitely a done deal. And I've always said, I don't think it is. I don't think we're in for him. You can't deal with Spurs, and he's overpriced, and he has been injured for the last couple of years. Not a great deal for United, and I never felt we were in for it. And, you know, we still could do the deal. I mean, I've got no definite information, but I never felt we were in for him because of the history with Spurs, and just too much money for a player that in a position that we don't necessarily need. But the fact that he's now looking to potentially stay at Spurs just shows that maybe he hasn't got that many options or many bidders for him, which is interesting. But going back to what we were saying at the start about £200 million, it's really like we've said, how do you spend that 200 million now? Is that 70 we've spent on Dalot and Fred already? Does that knock us down to 130 million? What do you then get with 130 million? Is it net 200 million? You know, and I think it has to be net. So if it's 130 million left and we were to offload, say, Blind and Darmian, does that knock it up to 160 million? 160 million. Could you then get Milinkovic-Savic for 100 and Sandro for 40, that would be my summer. I'd be happy with Dalot, Fred, Milinkovic-Savic and Sandro. I'd be very happy with that summer. It would be progress. It would be improvements in key areas. I'd be very, very happy with that summer. So we'll have to wait and see. Griezmann looks like he's going to announce Atletico Madrid today, by the way, for people who are interested. And obviously, I do That's Football, and we do a transfer show on there in a general football sense every midday. Yesterday I said that Lamar's going to Atletico Madrid, which appears to be pretty much a done deal for about 70 million now, and apparently Griezmann's going to stay there. I don't know why any United fans ever thought he was coming. I mean, I would have been jumping from the rooftops if it happened, but it was last summer for me. I mean, as soon as we got Alexis Sanchez and he gave him the number 7, that slammed the door shut on a Griezmann deal. It really did, and I think I'll be proved right on that. I mean, I'd love to be shocked and surprised that he does sign, but he's not coming to United. He really isn't not going to come to United. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Please do drop a like on the video. Can we get by without a left back? Are you encouraged by the Sandro news? What about Jordan Pickford? What about Danny Rose, Toby Alderweireld, and what should we spend this 200 million on? Drop a like on the video, get subscribing if you're new, and give us your comments. Lots to talk about. And also remember, don't forget, get your comments in below about anything transfer related, because we do read it and we might feature it in a future show. So if there's something that's bothering you or something you want to talk about, get in below. And also, I must just say, a lot of people have been saying to me, would you take Clement Lenglet from Sevilla? We've been speaking about him for about 2 or 3 weeks now. I do like him. £31 million release clause. Yes, I would take him. 22. Yeah, I'd take him every day of the week over Toby Alderweireld. But I'm not convinced we need a centre-back. I still stand by the fact that Eric Bailly and Lindelof are probably the way to go. But let's see what happens. Thanks for watching. Drop a like. Speak to you all soon.